Hello, good old snacks. Yes, I am back. Still recovering from conveniently getting sick the week I actually go on a holiday, so fingers crossed I don't lose my voice too soon. Anyway, let's catch back on. There's some interesting revelations in today's stories with their updates today, so let's dive straight in. Straight in. Am I the a-hole for thinking there's a hidden affair between my husband and best friend? Beginning in early February, I'm a 31 female and have a deep suspicion that there is something weird going on between my husband, 33, and my best friend Maria, 30 female. My husband feels I am just seeing things and is mad at me that I do not trust him enough. Please tell me if what is going on is just in my head, or if you also find the situation from last weekend suspicious. Maria and I have been best friends since college. She has always been very outgoing, while I am more of an introvert. Maria was always a bit promiscuous and loved drama. She had a lot of boyfriends and hookups in college. She is also very beautiful, and I always felt invisible when I was around her. I have weight issues. I always felt overshadowed by her. I was always very shy, and my husband was the first person I ever dated. Maria was always teasing me that I had only been with one guy in my life. As we have grown older, Maria is still to be in a long-term relationship. I feel that things have reversed now, and she keeps on telling me how lucky I am to have such an ambitious and reliable husband by my side. Around 6 months ago, my husband came to me and told me that he felt Maria was trying to flirt with him. He does not like Maria, but tolerates her for me. During one of the dinner parties, Maria was acting very flirty around my husband. She was just laughing extra loudly at all his jokes, complimenting his fitness, and touching him on the shoulders and arms. My husband told me that he felt uncomfortable with her behavior and asked me to talk to Maria. I was mad, so I talked to her. She got angry at me and said that she had known my husband for over a decade. He is like a brother to her. She felt my husband was trying to destroy our friendship because he did not like her. Well, I felt she was genuine and let it go. Now, Maria soon joined our gym because she wanted to take yoga classes with me. However, she spent more time in the weights room where my husband is. Again, my husband made comments about how she is always half naked in the gym and asked him to spot her. Maria complained that my husband is being rude and unhelpful to her. I, again, took her side and told my husband to be helpful and nice to her, as she is my best friend. My husband said he would make some more effort. I slowly started seeing them getting more and more friendly and working out together. I wanted to be cool, but I felt jealous. So now to what happened last weekend. Maria invited a bunch of her friends for a birthday party at her apartment. There were 7 guests there, including my husband and I. Maria kept on pushing tequila shots on all of us. Eventually, most of us got drunk. Maria was sitting next to my husband and was being very flirty with him, but I could see my husband not reciprocating, so I didn't care. Maria insisted we stay back at her place, and my husband and I slept in the guest bedroom. The other 3 guests, who were her coworkers, 1 guy and 2 girls, crashed on the sofas in the living room. I was drunk, and the last thing I remember was my husband bringing me to the guest room. When I woke up in the middle of the night, I was alone in bed. I could hear some moaning noises from outside. I quickly started looking for my phone in the dark. In that process, I dropped something from the nightstand on the floor. The noises stopped, and I heard a door open and close outside. I quickly got up to see where my husband was. When I reached the hallway, I saw my husband, just in his jeans with no shirt on. I asked him where he was, and he said he went to the restroom and asked if I was okay. I said yes, and he came and slept next to me. He was sweaty. I asked him where his shirt was, and he said that the heater was too high and he felt hot. His t-shirt was on a chair next to the bed, our bed. I lay down, but I was barely able to sleep after that. I got up early and went into Maria's room, and she was sleeping alone, naked. I told her we were taking off, and she got up to see us off. I kept this all to myself, and when we reached home and my husband went to take a shower, I immediately checked his phone. I could not find any messages between him and Maria. I spent the whole day thinking about it and finally confronted my husband regarding it at night. He was pretty angry at me and told me that he hates Maria, and the only reason he tolerates Maria is because of me. I told him about the moaning noises, and he said he also heard the same when he went to the restroom, but thought they were coming from the living room. He is still angry at me and that I can accuse him of something so horrible, and has told me that if I am really that insecure, I should cut off my friendship with Maria. He also told me that he was never going to be in the same room as Maria ever again. I have no idea what to do. On one hand, I know my husband would never cheat on me, but it's just impossible to get the doubts out of my head. I keep on picturing my husband and Maria together in her bed. Am I the a-hole to confront my husband and accuse him of cheating just because of what I saw and not having any real proof? How do I know what happened? If I confront Maria and accuse her, she's also going to be equally mad at me. I don't know her coworkers' friends well enough to trust what they say. I just feel stupid for trying to push for friendship between my husband and Maria. Please help. So I guess we're just going to ignore the best friend's complicitness in all this? Sure, your husband's your husband. Him betraying you's fair to call out, but the affair partner isn't a stranger. They're your best friend, OP. Why the hell are you implying like she's not equally a problem in this situation? It's like your husband's bought something off your best friend and you immediately accuse him of stealing it from her. Some of the comments were adamant that the alarm bells are going off. And just try the tactic of tell your best friend, you know, then go silent and leave it up to her to bubble and boil out some sort of confession if anything did happen. But others bring us some other interesting points that regardless of the cheating, which is strange to say, but OP needs to be a better partner to your husband. He has expressed discomfort many times to you. You have flatly ignored his feelings and brushed them aside. You have even encouraged him to be close to someone he doesn't even like. Stop it, OP. This is wrong. If someone was constantly flirting with and harassing you, how would you like it if your love and partner told you to get over it and play nice? Yeah, I don't doubt from the husband's perspective, it's like a seedy douchebag trying to flirt with you as a woman right next to your husband all the time. And it's like, it's your husband's best mate. Like, way to encourage your husband to just become a stone wall of an expressing human being.
Hey, wife, I'm having negative feelings and experiences around this person. Can I confide that in you and feel secure and safe with you?
No, be a man and take it like a man. You know how we're trying to teach men in society that no means no? Well, forget about it. It doesn't apply to you, apparently.
So ultimately, the comments at the time kind of conflicted because people do think she's the a-hole for how she's treated her husband regarding all this. As again, everything is just theory about this actual affair. But also, hey, if the husband actually did do anything, he's scummy and the a-hole just by default. It doesn't help, though, that in an updated edit, OP reveals that I found out they are texting via Facebook Messenger. So the original post was early February. It's now mid-March when the update comes around. How have things gone? A lot has happened during the last month, and my mental health is at its lowest due to the betrayals. However, I think I now know what happened that night. I am sorry for the long post. So, the day after my husband and I stayed at Maria's house for her birthday party, I was unable to shake the feeling that something happened between them. I am not proud, but I checked my husband's phone and all his messaging apps. I only found a brief chat between my husband and Maria on Facebook Messenger. Maria thanked my husband for coming to her birthday party and for such a great night. She sent him a photo of them hugging at the end of the night after I was asleep. My husband told Maria that I suspected something happened between them and asked her to talk to me. Maria told him that she would talk to me. And just like that, Maria called me the next day and told me that I was crazy and she would never think of doing such a thing to me. She sounded convincing, but I just couldn't shake the gut feeling that something happened. I told her why I suspected them, and she called me crazy and that my head was making up stuff that did not exist. I also mentioned that I saw her photo with my husband after I was asleep, and she would have kept her distance from him. Sorry, she should have kept her distance from him. I decided to distance myself from her, as I no longer trust her as a friend. We also changed the times we went to the gym so that we don't run into her. Well, after a week or so, she messaged my husband on Facebook Messenger that they should tell me the whole truth. My husband kept on asking her what she was talking about, but she kept on telling him that she felt guilty. My husband came to me and told me that Maria is sending messages to him and he is not sure what she is inferring. He kept on assuring me that nothing happened between them that night. I told him that I read their secret chats on Facebook Messenger. He gaslighted me, calling me insecure and that Maria was trying to play with my head. I finally decided to go to Maria's house and ask her what was going on. Maria initially kept on saying that she did not want to talk about it. However, finally, she broke down and told me what happened. She told me that during the night of the birthday party, my husband kept on staring at her. After they realized I was too drunk, he took me to the bedroom and again went back to the living room. At this point, he was sitting next to Maria and kept on touching her legs playfully. Maria was also very drunk and they decided to call it a night in 30 minutes. Maria said that my husband followed her to a room and he started undressing her and they were intimate together. She told me that she was too drunk to consent to anything and felt like he was essaying her. She kept quiet to keep peace, but it was bugging her from inside. I asked her if she was sure, as she was too drunk that night, and she said that although she was drunk, she remembers all the details. I confronted my husband, but he still kept on telling me that what he was telling me was the truth, and Maria never liked him and was playing me for a fool. He was so angry at me that he left the house and is currently living in a hotel nearby. He keeps on calling me and asking me to trust him, but I don't know how I can trust him now. I never expected him to do such a thing. Maria has also been trying to talk to me and asking me to be there to support her. However, I do not know if I can look at either one of them. I am just going to try and cope with the situation and plan to go and live with my parents for a few days until my husband and I agree about our future. I know you all thought I was crazy in the previous post, but I knew in my gut that something was wrong and never expected my life to suddenly come to this point. So many thoughts, such as people enraged that some are doubting OP could be actually the a-hole in this whole situation. Clearly, husband and Maria have been having an affair and now are both trying to gaslight and throw each other under the bus now that they're both caught red-handed. I cannot believe anyone is believing for even a second that the husband is innocent here at all. Yeah, it seems to be the case. I mean, he came back to bed all sweaty, in nothing but his jeans. Also, the moment that OP happened to hear the moaning stop because they heard her awake, and he's there in the hallway. But see, as that other comment was frustrated with, many were still skeptical. As another says, you are conveniently believing Maria over your husband again. As others have mentioned, it's odd that she'd thank him for a great night, but then claim to you that she was SA'd. I don't know, it seems to me you'd rather believe the worst in your husband, truth be damned. Also, that Maria started texting him about coming clean with you after you told her you're having access to his Facebook account. A coincidence? I don't think so. You're the a-hole for having zero trust in your husband and letting Maria manipulate and destroy everything. Also, in your first post, you mentioned this girl likes drama. It seems to check out. Thankfully, friends, it does not end there, though. Just a week after that post, and 2 days ago, we got the final update. Definitely concludes things, and yeah, the revelations keep on coming. I initially did not know who to believe and thought my friend was telling the truth. My husband was upset that I did not trust him and left the house to stay at a hotel. After posting the update, I read the comments until 4 a.m. and cried uncontrollably. I let my insecurities and crazy trust Maria when it was clear that my husband was telling the truth. I'm sorry for the long post. You helped me so much and might have saved my life. For the few people who DM'd me vile messages, I am mentally unstable, but that does not mean I need to end my life. I was not always insecure. When I met my husband a decade ago, we were both overweight. He never cared about my weight as long as I was happy. A year before we married, I had an idea that we lose weight before our wedding date. He took his fitness seriously and lost 40 pounds that year, while I was not disciplined and did not lose any. Our wedding photo looks like Ryan Reynolds is marrying Princess Fiona from Shrek. This made me insecure about my weight. It did not help that my mom and Maria kept on telling me that I needed to lose weight, or else he would leave me for someone more beautiful. The question in my mind was not if he would leave me, but when. He knows my struggles and has always been supportive and loving towards me. I went to meet him in the morning, and I have never seen him so broken. I started apologizing and crying, and he was trying to calm me down for almost an hour. I told him I trusted him completely and apologized that I did not see it sooner. He just looked stone-faced. He said he knew I would trust him eventually, but he is worried about Maria. He kept checking his social media because he was scared she might post about it. He said he could not imagine what his parents, friends, and co-workers would think if they saw the accusations. He told me that we need to talk to Maria to not spread such lies. I told him in detail what Maria told me, and he told me what happened that night. He said that I fell asleep on his lap around 1:30 a.m. He woke me up and took me to the bedroom. He came out to say goodbye to everyone, but the party was already dying. My husband was not drunk. He generally never drinks more than 1 to 2 drinks ever. But Maria and her friends were very drunk. Maria wanted to take some final pictures and went to everyone and made silly poses. That was the photo she sent to my husband. She asked my husband if he could come with her to the bedroom to get some blankets and pillows for others. My husband told her he needed to check on me, and the other male coworker volunteered to go with her and get stuff. My husband then came to the room and slept. He woke up 2 hours later and went to the restroom. He confirmed that he heard the moaning noises, but they had stopped when he came out of the restroom. We decided to talk to Maria, and I invited her to our house on Saturday evening. she was shocked to see my husband with me in the house. My husband told her that she knew what she was saying was wrong, and he still had the messages where she thanked him the next day. Maria got defensive and started telling me that she blacked out that night, but later slowly started to put together what happened that night since she was naked when she woke up. She asked me why she would sleep naked without locking the room door when her coworkers were in the next room. She said that she remembers my husband coming to her room and sleeping with her while she was extremely drunk. My husband told Maria that none of this happened, and she kept on insisting that she clearly remembered him naked and sleeping with her. He told her, if that was true, tell me how big his wang was. She was taken aback and shouted to him that just because it was huge does not mean that she enjoyed it and that she was extremely drunk. I asked Maria if she was sure, and she said she would never forget that wang. Okay, this is honestly the... This is the perfect way to prove this. The thing is, my husband is noticeably smaller than average in that area. I am not complaining, as he has always got the job done, but I knew Maria was full of it. A screaming match began between Maria and me, and I told her she was full of everything and to get out of my house. I told her that if she accused my husband, I would stand by him and tell everyone I was in the next room, and none of this happened. Maria was crying at this moment and told me to enjoy my life with her, well, allegedly. I hugged my husband, but he still looked void of any emotions. He told me not to freak out, but he had planned to visit his parents' house to reset his head before I talked to him. I wanted to be with him, but he insisted he wanted to be alone for a week and will be back on Saturday. He also called my mom to come to our house, so I am not alone. We told her what happened, and she was very angry at me. I have been talking to him all week on the phone, and he plans to return tomorrow. I feel lucky and undeserving of such a good husband and cannot believe I was so close to losing him. I have not heard from Maria, but at this point, our friendship is over. Again, thanks to everyone who sent well-meaning messages to me all throughout the week. I truly appreciate it. I have signed up for therapy this week and hopefully will be able to be a better wife to my husband forever. Like it needs to be said right now. Dude, small pee-pee literally saved his marriage. Honestly, though, as other comments say, props to this man for sticking by through all this despite everything just being fully against him. Like, it's one thing to be accused of cheating on your partner when you were so just vehemently confident it didn't happen, but then to be accused of actual assault, like an actual crime? I mean, Jesus. And all this because of your insecure partner trying to force a friendship where you were being harassed and, well, I guess abused is a bit of a strong word, but abused by this other woman. It literally took a dick measuring contest for her to wake the frick up. Over to some more unhealthy tactics leading to startling revelations. Am I the a-hole for denying intimacy with my wife? So I saw a story similar to this, but I want my own advice. So I'm a 34 male, and my wife is 32 female, and she had our baby girl who is 2. Now, when our little girl turned 1, I asked my wife if she was ready for intimacy or any type of physical connection again, since we barely hug and barely cuddle or even kiss in almost a year. And yes, I do understand she was touched out. So a month later, I hired a babysitter to come 2 days a week, one night for date night and another for my wife to just have the whole day to herself. And I still do this. So I attempted to cuddle her and she rejected it since she told me she didn't want that. So I had to find some other way to get what I need. So that's what I did. I'm not cheating on her, one, because I don't have the energy to do that. I mainly bought myself some toys, and I mainly don't need to cuddle. So now, if she wants a kiss, I give her a kiss, but nothing more. If she wants a hug, then I'll give her one, and if she wants to cuddle, we don't, because after I put our child down, I take a shower and go to sleep. We still do our date nights and all of that. I mean, she attempted to be intimate with me 2 weeks ago, and I asked her nicely if she could stop, as I wanted to get undressed and take a shower. Then she tried to join me in the shower, so I just got out of it and went to the guest room to shower and locked the door. I told her that I was sorry, but I wanted to take my own shower. She said it was okay. So last week I figured she would try again. So I got her some toys and I told her that these are hers and she can use them for whatever pleasure or need she needed. She said she didn't want that and she wanted me. And I told her that was good and all, but at this moment, I didn't want her and I would like to watch TV. So this week, she decided to ask me what was going on and why I didn't want her. I told her that I would have to want her again. I said, I'm saying I don't find you attractive because I do, but I've been almost 4 years without you, So I've learned how to manage myself. Now, for those wondering how it's been 4 years and we didn't get it on at all, well, her whole pregnancy is she didn't want it, which was fine. My daughter turns 3 in 2 weeks. She asked if I was punishing her. I told her I wasn't. I don't have the energy to punish her. I told her that I would work on it myself, but give me a few weeks to a few months, unless she just wanted me to sleep with her while thinking of something else. She said she would not like that, and I told her, for now, just use the toys I got her. She may notice there's a bit of broken English in all this. Obviously, English isn't their first language, but the gist of the whole story seems to be there. Moving on. So I was wenting out with some friends, and one said I wasn't wrong. She has taught me how to live without her touch, and I just need to get back and getting used to it. And one said to just sleep with her and just think about something else so that she can have what she wants. Now, I know I'm going to get comments saying, well, how about you take care of her baby and all that since she's a stay-at-home mom? I can, and I did. She went to the hospital because she got COVID 2 weeks after our child was born, and so I had to take care of our baby alone for almost a month. And then she got it again 3 months later, so then I took care of our baby for 2 weeks. Then, every year for her birthday, I get her a 2-week-long vacation. People who ask, well, is the child care only on her? I think I said it before, but when I get home, I usually take care of our child at night. So, am I the a-hole though? So, what do you think? Is that a fair split of the responsibilities of parenting and also adulting in general? He works full-time, she works full-time at home. Pretty damn good deal to get 2 weeks of vacation when you're on your birthday. I feel pretty confident to argue that it seems like she's getting the better half of the deal here. I mean, at the end of her workday, she gets to relax. At the end of his, he has to take care of, well, his child. Again, it is his responsibility, of course, but it's still a case of he doesn't have an evening to himself. Obviously, the best thing here in this situation is couples therapy, like yesterday. If you don't get therapy, then just get divorced for frick's sake. Like, clearly, even if he isn't punishing her, that he assures us he isn't doing, I think at this point, it doesn't matter what your intentions were, mate. You are punishing her. It's coming across like that regardless. Though some people are adamantly on OP's side regardless, arguing that it's been 4 years. If in 4 years, you can't even give your partner or spouse a hug or cuddle, you can't expect to get what you want when you want that after 4 years of not giving it yourself. I myself, we have 3 kids. I understand being touched out, but I got some bad news recently, and I couldn't even get a hug. My partner later told me that she just couldn't be bothered with a hug, so I just stopped being any type of physical with her. Being told you can't have a hug when you're crying by the person you love the most, and later being told it's because they couldn't be bothered, is soul destroying. Like, goddamn, dude. Ouch. It's people recounting experiences like this in relationships that really make me question how men are the logical ones and women are the more emotionally connected ones. When, like, literally, this woman's acting like a robot and this guy is acting like someone desperately wanting to feel loved and wanted. Wow, it's almost as if all the Alpha podcast people are bullshit. So, okay, a lot of accusations that you were punishing her. Others also concerned that she might have PPD, postpartum depression. A lot of factors that I don't think OP is considering here. As a result, might just be coming across as a sucky man-child, as if, well, he's just upset that his wooey's not getting touched. Well, it's just under a month later that the OP comes back with an update for us, with things not exactly resolving in how you might think. Hello, people. So I'm back to give you all an update. Me and my wife are divorcing. Okay, you would have seen that part coming, but just listen. So basically, we had a conversation, which ended up in arguing, and so I gave her some options: an open marriage, divorce, therapy, or she just lets me wait till my attraction for her comes back. So she said she would just want an open marriage on her side, which I was fine with. I didn't really care. But then she was mad I would let other men sleep with her with my permission, and then she admitted she had been cheating on me. So all of you who had said that, you were right. So I told her that we could go ahead and get a divorce. She was upset and begged and asked how I was going to allow it, but then divorced her because she was cheating. I told her because we never agreed to an open marriage when you were cheating, so that's why. So I have filed for divorce, and we have been splitting my daughter since she has moved back into some friend's house. So that's an update for you all. Just astounding that this woman would be shocked that he'd want to divorce her after 4 years of a relationship where he is getting no intimacy or love from her on that scale. Only to find out that it's because she's been getting it with someone else. No PPD, just being a poo-poo butthead. Just stupid insult. Yep, sorry your wife is a freaking scumbag. Lots of hope sent your way. How can you allow me to cheat? How can you allow me to sleep with other men in an open marriage? How can you allow us to divorce? How can you, it's all you. You're the one doing this. Honestly, at this point, I'm guessing this one looked stunning because I can't believe she still gets any attention from any man whatsoever. To which I fully agree with this response to that. Do you not understand how desperate most of us are? We'll frick a bologna sandwich if it's been long enough. I mean, that's what really fascinates me about people who just like, not to say men themselves or wants to say we're super attractive, but like the ladies who think they're super hot because a bunch of guys are into them. Like, men will sleep with anyone who's into them. It's not, I guarantee in many cases, the guy's not hooking up with you because you're hot. It's because you might be better than them just touching themselves tonight. Anyway, friends, might end the ramblings there. Thank you as always for watching. Love your face. Happy to be back with y'all, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.